Hello and welcome back to the CQ the Watch Guy podcast with me, CQ the Watch Guy, and we are back in Miami, fresh from an amazing San Francisco trip. Got some great content for you out there. Met up with some great collectors. We had an awesome CP time event with our good friends at Cartier San Francisco, and we met some great collectors out there and did some mini podcasts from you guys. I'm excited for you guys to see some great content and some just great conversations with some amazing collectors out there, just talking a little bit about their collector journeys and sharing some cool pieces that they picked up throughout their journey. Just trying to switch up the content a little bit. And if you want to do, you want to share your collection or a piece of your collection, we don't got to break out all 30, 40 pieces you might have in your collection. If you want to share just a small bite of your collection and tell the people a little bit about your collection and your collecting journey, feel free to reach out to me, Sequan at DavidSW.com, or shoot us a comment or a message down below, and I would love to speak with you. If you're in Miami or anywhere in the US or even internationally, we love to speak with you, and let's have some fun. Either way, thank you for joining me. Hope you guys are having a great time wherever you are in the world. And yeah, February is almost over. It's amazing that time is flying the way it is. We are literally less than 6 weeks away from Watches and Wonders. So the Super Bowl of watches is almost here. All the new watch releases are coming out. I'm excited because we're actually going to be there. That's right. The DavidSW crew will be there for Watches and Wonders 2024. I'm so excited. We're, just tightening up all the logistics and getting ready for that. I'm so excited. We're getting our predictions together to see what's going to be going on over there or what's going to be released. And who knows, man? It's one of those things where you can predict a million things and everything goes a different way. But yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of predictions and see what's going on. But I'm just excited to get to Switzerland for the first time and get to Watches and Wonders, man. It's been a dream, since the first time you hear about Basel. If you get into this industry or if you're just even an enthusiast, you want to get over there, touch Switzerland, touch the motherland, and, talk to everybody. I've been very fortunate to been to 3 Dubai Watch Weeks. You get some of that juice, right? Some of that energy of being around such amazing people, amazing, watchmakers and executives and leaders in the watch industry. So it'd be great to be, in Switzerland and see all these brand exhibitions and see, what they're doing on the motherland of watches. Or the heart of watches right now, let's say, because everybody gets dicey about where it all began, right? Either way, some interesting business news kind of leaked out in the past couple of days as I was gathering what I wanted to talk to you guys about this podcast. And, I was kind of intrigued by it. And I said, hey, let me talk to you guys about it because I think it's pretty interesting. And so basically, Parmigiani Fleurier. So Parmigiani is rumored to be up for sale, and I think this is really interesting from a watch business news standpoint. So basically, it was first reported by Miss Tweed, which is a fashion business news outlet, and then further reported by Watch Pro, which is where I heard about it, that Parmigiani is up for sale. The Sandoz Family Foundation is thinking about selling Parmigiani, the watch company, which is interesting because Parmigiani itself is a watch company, but it's also a group of companies that facilitate Parmigiani. So within Parmigiani, you have all the companies that help make the Parmigiani watches, right? So you have a company that makes the dials, you have a manufacturer that makes the cases, you have Vacheron, which makes the movements. And what is so interesting to me out of the family of groups is Vacheron. And what's so interesting about Vacheron is Vacheron makes movements. They're, in my opinion, a high-end. They are a high-end independent movement maker. They make a majority of the movements that they make go to Parmigiani Fleurier. But they also do a lot of movements for a lot of other high-end brands as well. I believe Hermes is a large investor in them as well. So they do movements for Hermes, but they also do a lot of movements for Richard Mille. They do movements for I'm drawing a blank right now, but a lot of other AP has used Vacheron movements as well. Even Baume and Mercier and some of their high end stuff has used Vacheron movements too. So they are a great platform movement maker, and also 100% movement maker for a lot of our high end movement. A lot of high end brands. So why I think this is so interesting is this is an interesting opportunity for one of those other brands to bring in Vacheron or Parmigiani as a whole into their family, or just bringing Vacheron into their brand, and kind of like imagine if RM just said, hey, we want to take Vacheron and kind of make that part of our ensemble, part of our family, and kind of concrete us as being, a little bit more of a complete movement maker, right? Because when you think of a brand like Richard Mille, one of the only knocks you can make on them is not everything they make is 100% in-house. And we go back and forth, right, on whether something needs to be 100% in-house or not, right? Like you take a brand like Richard Mille, right? Not everything is 100% in-house, right? Where are they getting their movements made from? They're getting their movement made from Nardin and Papi, one of the best complication movement makers out there ever. And Vacheron, again, up there in terms of the best movement makers out there ever. So who else do I want making my movements? This goes back when a lot of people talk about JLC making movements, or the base movements for a lot of brands, including Audemars Piguet in the past, and currently for a lot of brands too. Is like, if I'm not gonna make my own movement, who would I rather have making my movement than a brand like JLC? And when you talk about making my own movement, the R&D that it takes for me to invest to make my own movement, it's a lot, right? Not just in finance, right? Let's say financially I could spend it, anywhere from $5 to $10 million. I'm just kind of ballparking here. I'm not sure exactly what the numbers are. I'm sure I'm not that far off. Depending on how complicated, anywhere from $5 to $10 million plus to make your own in-house movement. But the time, right? You're talking 3 to 5 years to make something completely in-house. Now, if I'm not trying to make something super novel, right? If I'm not trying to make CQ's super unique chronograph, or CQ's super unique supersonnery minute repeater, or something like that. If I just want to make a 3-hander time only with a unique date or something like that, do I really want to, spend 3 to 5 years, of my business's time, of my artisan's time, trying to make this, if it's not going to be something that's going to really, change the world? If it's not that necessary, just to say, hey, it's an in-house movement, it's something that my brand came up with. Sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not. If it's me and it's just me, I'm a watchmaker on my own, and just me and a few other of my watchmaker buddies, and we're kind of doing something on our own, it's different. But if I'm trying to do something on a much larger scale, and I'm trying to move a business forward, maybe it's okay if I'm getting my movements from a very, very big, well-established, really well-done movement house, and I'm focusing my research and development and funds and other things. So I think this is a very interesting moment. I think it'll be very interesting to who swoops in and buys what part of the group. I don't know what we call it, because they're kind of individual companies, even though they're all part of the Parmigiani family, if you'd say that, but they all kind of work individually. I love Parmigiani. I think this is a excellent opportunity if somebody's or a group is in a position and they're looking to get into a really good watch company who's on a great trajectory. I think this is a great brand and great group of companies to invest in. I think Parmigiani is in a great space. Maybe perhaps that's the reason they are being offered for sale, that it's a great time if you wanted to make a good profit on the company. Who knows what the financials are, blah, 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 blah. But I think it's a great company to get into. I think they're in a great spot for them. The Sandoz Foundation started investing in Michel Parmigiani and this company in 1995. We were in 2024. So almost 30 years this company has been around. Very young, right? When you think of other companies, but in 30 years, I think when you look at the growth of the company, the models that they've produced, what they've been able to achieve, amazing growth, amazing, again, amazing trajectory for the brand. I think they're going to amazing places. I think they're really honed in on their identity. They've honed in on their aesthetic, and I think it's a really great time for them. So I'm hoping that somebody swoops in who will keep the vision of Mr. Parmigiani and keep the path that they're going forward. But I could also see it as a great time for a brand like a Richard Mille or AP, even just to say, hey, let's just kind of scoop in, get Vacheron, get these other houses that have great manufacturing capability under our umbrellas, and just kind of take hold of that. But you never know. There might be another outside player who gets in there and wiggles something in there and creates another entity that we don't see coming. That can be, this will immediately can make you a big force in the industry. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. But I thought that was very interesting. Things like these, it might seem like something small. It might seem like insider baseball, but when you're an enthusiast, you're a collector, and you're thinking long term, it's like little situations like this is what really kind of ripples down, years and years in the future. When you think about, you're collecting Panerai, you're collecting, Richemont Group products, right? And you think about pre-Vendome and then after Vendome when it became the Richemont Group, and then the difference in value and when you're collecting and stuff, and little insider things that change, group wise and business changes that happen there that not everybody knows about, but it's cool to know what happened business wise that changes the market of the product and the quality of the product and just aesthetics and things like that. So I think just something interesting to look at. Very cool little insider baseball thing there. And again, Parmigiani is a great brand. It's a brand that I follow for quite a long time now, since the beginning of my career. So it'd be interesting to see what happens, who decides to take the helm there, or do we see a situation like the Kering Group and Gerard Perregaux and Ulysse Nardin, where the management group kind of finds some investors and take it on themselves? I do think Parmigiani is like a powder keg right now that just needs the right spark, and they're ready to go into the stratosphere with their current lineup. I mean, I'm excited to see what they have going on for Watches and Wonders. Definitely going to be sneaking in their exhibition for sure. Anyways, let's get on to our watches of the week. Make sure you check out DavidSW.com. Hit the new arrivals section. We have some great pieces popping up every day, and we've been having some great variety pop up there, and they have been moving. I mean, over the weekend we had some amazing pieces that rotated out really quickly. Now let's get it started with the Grand Seiko SPGA 413 Heritage Spring Drive, 4 Seasons. This is the spring. This is the spring. Grand Seiko isn't a brand that I talk too much about. I should more, because you do carry always a very good selection of Grand Seiko. And the spring is one of my favorite pieces just because it is just one of the most beautiful dials out there. Grand Seiko makes some amazing dials. The Snowflake being the dial that I fell in love with first and foremost, to be honest with you. I just remember when I first moved through Northeast and it was snowing, and it was one of my first experiences as an adult with snow, and I had a snowflake on, and the snow was falling. It was all like, a Christmas story kind of day. But there's something about the finishing of their cases, the finishing of their dials, just their overall execution. You cannot talk any smack about Grand Seiko. Probably one of the best values in watches, really, when you really add everything up, and aesthetically amazing. The spring is really no exception to the rule. Just a subtle pink on the dial, really giving you the essence of cherry blossoms in the spring, of them just blooming. And the texture on the dial, you need to look at it with a lume, look at it with your eyes, look at it in the sunlight. It is just a nice organic texture that is just, I love it. You compare it to the sharpness of the hour minute hands and the baton markers and everything else. It just like it's a movie on the dial. And just you compare that to the grayness of the titanium case. And what I love about the case too, you have this nice brushed satin finish case with the beautiful Zaratsu polishing that they do that gives you just a really nice contrast of satin finish with this beautiful high black polish that gives you a really nice contrast. And again, the dullness of the gray from the titanium really gives a nice platform that when you go on this beautiful subtle pink dial, really beautiful piece, 5575. This one's from September 2022. Really good looking watch, spring drive movement on there as well, so you know it is gonna go forever for you. Great looking watch. And if you haven't tried on a Grand Seiko before, try one on. It's definitely worth it. And if you're looking for something special, something a little bit unique, and just has a little specialness to it, I think Grand Seiko is definitely a brand you should dig into. If you've been looking at a few different watches and you're just not getting that captivation that you're looking for from a watch, you need to check out a Grand Seiko dial. There's a mesmerizing effect that you're missing there that they have for you. All right, moving down, we have a beautiful Vacheron Constantin Traditionnelle small seconds that just popped in. Now, I love this. We're getting into that season where we might have to start getting out again, getting into, doing some buttoned up events, maybe some weddings and things coming up. And this is a beautiful take anywhere, do anything dressier piece, 38 millimeters. 18 karat rose gold, time only, just with your sub seconds. I'm a big VC fan, and manual winds, just nice feel on the wrist, not too thin, not too thick, beautiful movement on the back there. And I just love a good looking dress watch at a great price point. I'm a big fan of VC as well. Like I said, it's a great movement on there. Pardon me. I don't know. I like a traditional. They don't get talked about a lot, but you just don't see them too often. Funny enough, I did a quick search on this piece. This is the only one in the country on the popular platforms at the moment, which is funny. February 2023, full set. This one's a reference 82172. If you're looking for something a little bit on the dressy side, but not from the usual suspects, clean silver white dial, and again, clean, classy. I would definitely take it on the brown strap you have here, but don't be afraid to put it on even a black strap with some gold stitching. I play around and put it on even. You could do a brown suede. You could do a gold camel if you want to brighten it up a little bit and make it a little bit more casual too. I think you can have a lot of fun, a lot of wear on this watch. And I just think value-wise, 18,375, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck on this piece for 2023. So you got lots and lots of time on the warranty piece as well. And I don't know, this one just kind of stood out to me. I'm getting back into my dressy watch phase, I guess. This is just a great looking watch. All right, next up, we have the Ulysse Nardin Freak Out. I'm a big fan of Ulysse Nardin Freaks. When I first started going to Alaska, UNs were a brand that I really dove in deep with, and got my first chance to really touch and hold and sell freaks, and they're just amazing watches, right? And in a nutshell, what you're getting with a UN freak, especially the classic freaks, is the movement is the minute hand, right? And it's crazy, right? Because you have this crazy movement that is the minute hand. So you have all the gears and everything working. Then you have the escapement there beating away. And you're just having this marvel of mechanical engineering just working away in front of you. These kind of broke the industry when they came out originally way back when, like 2001, 2002 is when the first original ones came out. And after that, you just kept getting different variations of them. The Freak Out is one of the more modern iterations. These came out around 2018 or so. So you're getting a more refined version of it. What I really love about picking up Freaks now is you get them at such a good value compared to the original retails. So you get this one at $28,575. And this one, I believe, is a full set as well. So you get the big box. You get the winder too, which is really good because it's a nice little winding tool. They are a little bit tough just to wind with your fingers. It can take all day, so it's nice to have that little winding tool on it. So no crown on this one like the newer Freak X's. Just you kind of lift up the tab and you twist the bezel to set the time, and then use a tool and you twist the back case to wind it. And there's a big old spring back there that winds up. This is it's a fun watch. It's also a horologically important watch at the same time. So it really gives you a best of both worlds. If you're into, mechanical engineering, if you're into really funky horological pieces that are just really out there and wild, this is a cool piece for you. But also if you're just into really like important pieces, if you're into things that really affected the way watchmaking is now, this is Richard Mille before Richard Mille, right? This was Hublot before Hublot. This is where, a lot of watches, a lot of the aesthetics that we see today came from or was influenced by, I should say, where Ulysse Nardin Freak was and what they were able to do in the early 2000s. And here you get a great opportunity to own such a fun piece. And I love this because this one's in titanium with the rose gold accents. So it's not as heavy as those older pieces are, because those are a little bit heavy and you could knock them about. And this is nice in titanium, so it feels great on the wrist, nice sizable piece, but you don't gotta worry about dinging it all over the place and messing up that beautiful movement. Again, 28,575, really, really great piece there. And last but certainly not least, we have AP Royal Oak Chronograph Rose Gold with the beautiful brown dial. I picked this watch because this is probably one of my favorite Royal Oak chronos. It is just chef's kiss. Royal Oak chrono, 41 mm, rose gold with the chocolate dial, with the rose gold chronograph sub dials. It's just a great looking watch. I love it on a brown strap. I have some fun, put these on rubbers too. It's just a great looking piece. This one is full set with the card. And really, it's one of those pieces where it does all the talking for you. Just look at the picture. It's a beautiful watch. If you're somebody who enjoys a full gold watch, but you don't want to go full bracelet, this is a good piece for you. It is a gold watch, but it can be a little bit understated. You can sneak it under a cuff if you want to, but it still looks good out on its own. It doesn't overpower your wrist. It's not too heavy. So it's a well-balanced precious metal piece, in my opinion. And I think value-wise, these have come down to, in my opinion, a very good place. These were, very, very high. I think they've kind of settled down where they're going to be. So I like it very much at 62,575. Anyways, that is it for me today, guys. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out DavidSW.com and make sure you check out the new arrival sections to see this piece and many more. I'm CQ the Watch Guy, and make sure you buy what you love.